Welcome back to another episode of the Pre-Vegans podcast. We're here to be your guide as you explore the vegan lifestyle. No judgment, just support, laughs, and plenty of valuable info to help you along the way. Today's episode is all about America's mom and vegan icon, Tabitha Brown. Whether you're a longtime fan or hearing her name for the first time, this is the perfect introduction to her incredible journey and the inspiration she brings to so many. Let's dive in.
Hey, all my beautiful pre-vegans, V here. Whether it's your first time tuning in or you're one of our ride or die listeners, thanks for being here. You're the best. Today, we're talking all about Tabitha Brown. I mean, who better to bring some plant-powered inspiration than one of our absolute faves? But before we dive into her vegan origin story, here's a quick reminder. You can send us your questions for future episodes. Just email us at contact@vegansexplore.com or slide into my DMs in our Circle community. All right, let's get into it. Enjoy the episode. Okay, so picture this. You're scrolling through social media and there's this lady eating a sandwich. Like, not just eating it, but making you feel like it's the best sandwich in the world. That's how Tabitha Brown caught the world's attention, and honestly, we've been hooked ever since. Today, we're talking all about Tabitha's journey, and let me tell you, it's one of those stories that makes you sit back and think, wow, I really need to get my life together. She went from Uber driver to becoming America's mom, and she did it all by being her genuine, hilarious, and incredibly kind self. But what's wild is that her whole journey started with a plant-based diet. Like, she wasn't even trying to be famous, she was just trying to feel better. Back in 2016, she switched to a vegan diet for 30 days because her health was a mess. And she didn't just feel better. She found this whole new passion for food, life, and connecting with people. Fast forward to 2017, and boom! Her Whole Foods TTLA sandwich video goes viral. And I mean viral. From there, she became this unstoppable force, making veganism look not just doable, but downright fun. And here's the best part. Tabitha proves it's never too late to chase your dreams. She found her big break in her late 30s, and now she's a best-selling author, businesswoman, and all-around legend. Like, how inspiring is that? So whether you're vegan, thinking about it, or just someone who loves a feel-good story, Tabitha Brown's journey will hit you right in the feels. Get ready, because this episode is all about finding your purpose, staying true to yourself, and, as Tabitha would say, having a good day. And if you can't, don't you dare mess up nobody else's. Here's a clip of Tabitha Brown sharing her vegan origin story on an episode of the Earn Your Leisure podcast. Enjoy.
I did, music videos. I did commercials. I did a lot of small roles and things, but nothing ever broke. However, every job I did, I thought it was the one. I thought this was going to be the thing that blew me up. My husband used to always tell me, man, it didn't matter if it was $50. He was like, this is the one. But I just always believed that, in my heart. There was always this thing inside of me that was saying something big was coming. And then in 2016, I felt like I was finally getting to a good place. I just went to Sundance for the first time. I was like, man, I feel like my career is really starting to kind of take off in a different level. And I think I had booked my first guest star and co-star on TV, And then I got sick. Out of nowhere, I just woke up. I had this headache in the back of my head, and the headache rested there for 1 year and 7 months. It was accompanied by chronic fatigue, chronic pain throughout my body. I began to fall when I would walk. As a woman, all this stuff was shutting down. It was not functioning properly. Doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I did everything that you can imagine. I had blood work, MRIs, weekly, monthly. I was taking every drug the doctors offered me. And if anything, I was probably getting worse because they couldn't figure out what it was. I was like a guinea pig, but when you don't know what's wrong with you.
They're just going to keep trying to treat you for everything.
Be like, yeah, I'll take it. They would, shoot me up in the head and giving me all kinds of steroids. But it didn't work. And so my daughter came home from school one day and was like, Mom, we saw this documentary. I think you should watch it at school. And it was What the Hell? And I watched that.
Netflix.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Watched it as a family and was like, oh, this is something that I've never tried, right? It was also, one of those things you kind of hear about and you're like, that ain't really for Black people. But I was like, when they start talking about all diseases are not hereditary, is that sometimes we can eat the same thing that causes the same disease in our family. My mama died at 51. My daddy is 71. He's the oldest man to ever live in our family. Mm-hmm. People die young and they get sick at young ages in my family. And so I was like, let me try to go vegan for like 30 days and see what happened. I ain't got nothing to lose at this point because I did think I was going to die. And did it. And in the first 10 days, the headache I had every day for a year and 7 months disappeared. And I started getting energy again. I started feeling better. And I was like, oh, I think I'm on to something. And I told my husband, I was like, this is going to be my life. I'm going to go vegan. And that's literally how I got on that journey. And prior to doing that, I had got to a really dark place. I was, suffering from anxiety and depression. And I had I grew up in the church from the South. And I always prided myself on having this great relationship with God. And I had what I call my last call and conversation with him in the bathroom because I thought he had forgotten about me when I was sick. And so I went in the bathroom, I got in the mirror, and I was really in search of trying to see my soul. And I prayed, and I was like, God, if you heal me, you can have me. And I meant it. And something changed that day in the bathroom. I don't know. When I walked out, I felt different. I didn't feel healed, but I felt different. And then, later is when my daughter had came home about the documentary. But a couple weeks after that, I had this dream. And if you've read my book, I have a gift I was born with. Ever since I was a kid, I dream things and they come to pass. I see things that other people don't see. And I saw myself on a show. And I was like, now, God, how was I on a show? Because I'm sick. I'm not even auditioning. I used to do stand-up trying to get a TV show. I'm not doing stand-up. I'm not doing any of the things that I usually would do. And I was like, well, reveal that to me. How was I on a show if I am not working towards it? And I heard a voice that said, start doing videos. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I ain't finna do that. I ain't gonna do no videos. Because as an actor, we've been told in Hollywood, and you got to know that I was a person who was not free. So I believed anything that was told to me to make it in Hollywood. And so I would always be told, you do videos, nobody gonna take you serious in Hollywood. Because, there was also the Vine era. And I had a lot of friends who we all acted together. We came up producing and acting and doing our own thing together, started doing Vine. And I was the person that was like, oh, y'all ain't gonna make it. I thought I was better.
Oh, okay.
I had this thing where I really believe, when you ain't free, you like to look down on others. Or you like to think that you're doing it the right way. Not your way, but the right way is what you're thinking because you have conformed, right? So I went from corporate America conforming, code switching, to entertainment conforming and code switching. So I believed that I had to fit a certain box in order to be successful. And so when God spoke to me and said, start doing videos, I was like, I can't do that. But then he reminded me, he said, you said if I heal you, I can have you, which meant I had to start being obedient to what I heard from him. And so I was like, okay. So I started doing these videos. When I first started doing videos, I was just kind of doing the same sets I would do when I was a comedian. I would, talk about being a mom and a wife. And I still had not, healed myself yet. I was not feeling completely better yet.
Yeah.
And so when I did the vegan challenge and started feeling better, and after the 30 days, I told my husband, this is going to be my life. That same voice I heard said, now tell people what you're eating in your videos. And I was like, wait a minute now, Lord. Because I also had shaved off all my hair. Because I always wore my hair very long and straight. I was always a certain size. I would weigh myself like 10, 12 times a day trying to fit this look. I always covered my accent. Everything I was programmed to do. So I was taking layers off. It's like God was dealing with me on becoming who he created me to be. And so I was very scared. I was like, Lord, I done shaved off all my hair. And I'm really trying to be obedient to be who you created me to be. But this is scary. But okay. So I started doing videos and said, hey, y'all, I'm going vegan. And so I was like, all right, I'm going live every day. I'm cooking in my kitchen. When I find stuff, I tell people, oh, I found a vegan option. I would get like 30 people on my lives, 100 views after, a day or two on my videos. And if you watch like some of my earlier videos, I would cry on the video sometime while I was cooking because I'm like, I don't know why God got me doing this. He told me thousands in minutes. It is 33 people on here. What do he have me do? And I also never wanted to do anything with food. Never.
Mm-hmm. But
I was just being obedient. And so October is when I told my husband, I'm gonna go drive Uber because now I'm feeling good. And I had, my savings, what little bit that I had was gone, and my husband is my partner, not my provider. And so I was like, I'm gonna go get discovered in my car because I'm in LA. I'm probably gonna pick up a director or a producer. They're gonna love me. Okay. And I'll call you from the set. That's how my mind be working. And my husband's like, okay, Tab. All right. So I started driving Uber in October. And December 30th, I dropped somebody off at, by Whole Foods. And I was still new vegan. I always know Whole Foods got a vegan option. So I went in there. I was like, I'm going to put myself on a little Uber break, give me a little breakfast. And I went in and got a sandwich. I had never heard of vegan bacon at that time. Mm-hmm. And that was the sandwich, the TTLA. And ate the first half. And I was like, oh, shoot, I need to do a video to tell people I found a new vegan option. So I did the video sitting in my car. And I went on back to driving Uber. When I got home and I turned my, notifications on, my phone was like going crazy. I was like, who watching this video? The video had like 50,000 views. And I was like...
On Facebook?
On Facebook.
Yeah.
And the next morning, it had over 100 and some thousand. And I told my husband, I said, I think I'm going viral. And he was like, what that mean? I was like, I don't know. He's like, was you going to make some money? I was like, I don't know. And 4 days later, Whole Foods DM'd me on Facebook. And they were like, we saw your video. We'd love to partner with you. And I partnered with them. That was like my first partnership. The sandwich was like something that had never happened for Whole Foods. The sandwich was only available in the Southern California region. Mm-hmm. But after the video, people were requesting it nationwide. So in 30 days, they rolled it out all over the nation. And it became like, it was like my sandwich. I had also changed the name of the sandwich because in my excitement, I said the name of the sandwich wrong. So they changed the name of the sandwich to TTLA. Yeah. And so I changed their market for them. They had never been done in, I think Steve said over 30 years.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Pre-Vegans podcast. Big thanks to the Earn Your Leisure podcast for such an inspiring interview, and to Tabitha Brown for being a shining light in the vegan community. If you're ready to take your pre-vegan journey up a notch, check out our website at prevegans.com for more tips, resources, and good vibes. Don't forget to leave a review. Seriously, it helps so much. And share this episode with a friend who's curious about veganism. All right. See you next time.
You're listening to the Pre-Vegans podcast, part of the Vegans Explore Network. For more info on the Pre-Vegans program, upcoming challenges, and how to get involved, head over to prevegans.com. Today's episode was edited and produced by Vegans Explore founder Shawnee Russell.